Dear participants, will be joining the session in another, you can join the session in another 5 minutes. The resource person will join at 3:35. So let's wait for another 5 minutes and then we'll be starting with the session. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Ritika Malik, on behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth, Deemed to be University, welcomes you again on second day of FDP on qualitative analysis research work. I welcome Jaspreet Kaur ma'am on today's session on hands-on practice on NVivo software. I welcome all the participants. In case of queries and doubts, please raise your hand. Over to you, Jaspreet ma'am. Please share your valuable experience on hands-on practice session on NVivo.
So my volume is now on full, and I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Can,
yes, you are audible.
Which batch is this? 2000.
there's someone who's speaking in between.
Yes, 1 minute.
Ma'am.
I request all the participants, please mute yourself. Yes, Jaspreet ma'am, please start.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen. Yesterday we stopped at NVivo, so I'm just sharing my screen. You should be able to see, as I told you, this icon, the blue icon, NVivo, and the moment you open it, it should open up the way I'm opening it up. And this is the first screen that you should be able to see. And in this, what you have to do is, what you people have to do is, you have to press new project. Okay, when you press new project, it will say project title name. Just give it any name. For example, I can give it a name of demo. Okay, and go to next. Okay, and just click create project. Okay, go to next, just click create project. It will create a new project. Now, the project that I have for you, which is this project, okay. So for that, first I'll explain to you exactly. Uh, just a second. Just a minute. Somehow it closed. Give me 1 minute.
Jaspreet ma'am, few of the participants have raised hand. If you can solve their queries, it will be a great help. Asha and Kiran.
Yes, Asha. Yes, Kiran.
Ma'am, there is an audio problem and there's a lot of disturbance from the background.
Is it? Ma'am, can you also?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have the same issue. There is some audio.
Audio problem at my end?
No, I think, ma'am, some participant has not
Someone has-
muted, so
Acha, acha.
any of
That-
the owner
Yeah.
can do it. Any of
No,
the
ma'am,
owner
all the
can.
participants are muted. I think the voice is echoing. If you can help them out in that case, all the participants have been muted from our end. There is none of the participant who is being unmute.
Okay,
Now it is.
can everybody please mute first? Everybody please mute. Now that you all are on mute, Ritika ma'am, am I audible now? Is the voice clear now?
Ma'am, the voice is clear. A little bit disturbance is there from backend, might be. So the voice is clear, but there is echo, like there is a voice echoing. So if you can help in that case, that will be a good, grateful.
What about now?
It's much
What about
better, ma'am.
now?
It's much better.
It's better?
I think all the participants are able to hear ma'am clearly now.
Is it okay now? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, great. So once you go to, yeah. So once you go to this page, okay, I'm
I'm
sending you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm really sorry, ma'am. I'm interrupting you. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But then I'm not able to log into my NVivo. I know that you have already, explained yesterday. Yesterday somehow I was able to do that, but today I'm not able to log in. So if you just help me out to log in into this. See, there's two
Amit
things.
sir.
There's one
Yeah.
portal. So I'm able to log in into the portal.
Mm-hmm.
So I have already logged into the portal, but when I double click on the software that I have installed, NVivo,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
asks for, login. It asked me to log in to my NVivo, and when I enter my credentials,
Mm-hmm.
like ID and password, so it
Mm-hmm.
says no, account is associated with it.
Sir, is it the same login ID?
Yeah, ma'am, it's the same
Can you
login
share the
ID.
screen, please? I'll
Okay.
stop sharing.
I,
Please share the
yeah.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
One second, ma'am.
Amit sir, are you able to do the? Are you able to share the screen? Amit sir, we are waiting for you.
Mute me. Please unmute me. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not able to share. The button for share is, I think, disabled.
1 minute, sir. Sir, you are a presenter. You can share the screen. There is no as such disabled button, but you can share the screen. Of course, you are a presenter. Go ahead, sir. Amit sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, now your screen is visible, sir.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So can you see the screen? It's
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, it's just opening. Meanwhile, Ritika ma'am, I've sent you a few files. If you could just pass it on to the participants for today's
Sure.
session.
Sure, ma'am.
I've just
Sure.
sent it on email.
Right, ma'am. Right. I'll do that.
And everybody, when you get those files, please save them on your desktop. That's the first thing you have to do. And one by one, I'll tell you how to import it into NVivo.
Have you seen the message, ma'am? It says
Not
your
yet. To activate, log into my NVivo. Check your log. So please go to the My NVivo login portal.
जसप्रीत मैम वही प्रॉब्लम है जो कल मेरे साथ आ रही थी ना।
हाँ जी, तो आप इनको बताओ सर, इफ इट कैन बी
मैम ये
सॉल्व।
अनइंस्टॉल कर दीजिए, एक्चुअली वो 14 डेज वाला ना लिंक अलग से है।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा,
ट्रायल
ठीक
वाला,
है,
बस उसको लॉगिन करके वो करेंगे तो हो गया, मेरा भी हो गया।
ठीक है सर, इसको अनइंस्टॉल कर दीजिए और 14 डेज वाला जो लिंक है उस पे इंस्टॉल करिए।
ओके ओके
14 डेज ट्रायल वाला, ठीक है।
ओके
Okay, for the rest of the people who can see the screen, I'm just sharing my screen again. So this is what the screen looks like. Okay, this is what the screen looks like when you enter. And okay, yeah. Now, first of all, I'm showing you all the types of files which can be analyzed in NVivo. So the first type of file is the PDF file or the secondary file. So I'm just when you import these files, and tell you first how to import. Whenever you get these files, the first thing is go to import. So here you have these you have these top icons which say home, import, create, explore, share, modules. Okay, so you have to go in import, and in import you go to files, and from files pick up any file. So for example, I'm picking up this file, domestic artifacts, and I go to open and I go to import. Okay, it asks to name the file anything, okay, and say okay and import. So now you can see domestic artifacts. I've just highlighted it in the blue line. It has been imported. So the first thing you have to do is that all those files that are being sent to you, okay, so I'll also tell you what sort of files they are. So all those files that are being sent to you, you have to start importing them. Okay, let me tell you what are the type of files that I'm sending you, or what are the types of files that we are going to work upon. So the first one is a PDF file. Okay, so this is whenever you want to see a file or the content of a file, all that you have to do is double click it. So this is a file of domestic artifacts. I double clicked it. Okay, now I double clicked it. This is the file on the right side. So this is actually a research paper, okay, which is related to my topic. Okay, now if I this is the first type of data, or the PDF data, or what we call secondary data, that you can sort of import. Another type of data which you can import or we can use in NVivo, we can analyze in NVivo, is the interview transcript. Yesterday I showed you my interview transcript. Of course, I cannot share all transcripts or the full transcript because the paper is still under publication. But I've just taken a part of that transcript. Okay, it is named, the file name is interview transcript 4. I have sent it to you, and this is the interview transcript. Okay. So this is again one sort of data which you can analyze. This is a Word document, okay, and this is a Word document which is actually an interview, okay. It is actually a PI that I have taken from respondents. This is the second type of data that I can import into NVivo. A third type of data is pictures. So I have sent you one of these pictures also. So the third type of data which I have imported is pictures. Okay, again, this is all in sync with the theme that I'm going to express today. There's another sort of data which is video. So this is one of the videos also that I have imported. Okay, slowly and gradually in these coming 2 days, today and tomorrow, we are going to learn how to analyze all these types of inputs. The more the input, the better it is. Okay, so videos is another one. And last but not the least, we can analyze social media data. Okay, now this is social media data taken from Twitter, and we can analyze this also. So there are many types of inputs that we have with which we can analyze data. Okay. So have you all received the files? If you've received the files, you can start importing it. The first thing is import it and let me know that you are done so that I can proceed.
Dear participants, all the files have been shared on the WhatsApp group. You can check it out and just download the files.
Yes, so have all of them been able to import it?
Ma'am, Swati Luthra is raising the hand. Yes, Swati.
Yes,
ma'am?
Swati?
Swati ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Ma'am, I've
We still
downloaded
have
the
not
data. I'm
received.
having an issue in importing it. I can see it in my file, but when I try to import it, it says that
Please share your
it's not.
screen. Please share your screen. I'll stop
Just,
sharing mine.
just a second, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's done. It's solved. The problem is resolved. Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else who's not been able to import? Anybody else who's not been able to import?
We have not received the mail.
Can we import all at once?
Sorry? It can. No. One by one. One by one. It will be imported one by one because it supposes that you have to give a name to each one of them.
Can you please again explain how to import?
Sorry?
Can you please again explain how to import? Show the screen again.
Okay, I'll share the screen. So what you have to do is, this is the NVivo screen. Okay. Just a second. So this is the screen. Go to import, go to import, go to files. The moment you go to files, it shows you desktop. Go to desktop. If it is there in desktop, just select a file. Okay, suppose I select, okay, British Council proposal. Go to open. When you go to open, it will give you this box which says import. Go to import. When you go to import, it will give a name itself, automated name, and all you have to press is OK. The moment you press OK, it will start showing in these files. So I have many files, but you will have at least 2-3 files.
Ma'am, I have imported all the 4 together, so is it okay?
Try it, but I think it goes one by one because it has to be given a name. Ideally, if you go one by one, it's better because there's a picture file, there's a Word file, there's a PDF
So
file.
should I delete? Should I delete now?
No,
and
it's okay.
repeat?
It's okay. No, it's okay. Till the time you know which file it is, it's okay. If you are putting in 4 files together, till the time you know that which file it is okay. If it is getting imported, can you see the screen and can you see the files over here? Can
Yes,
you see all the 4
yes,
files?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
then it's okay. And to
Yes.
check whether it's been done or not, what you have to do is just double click on any of the file. Just double click on the right side, you should get the content. If you're getting it, it's okay. If you're getting it, it's fine. Right, so like
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
double clicking, so I'm getting the content.
Yes, I can see
Okay,
the
when I'm
content.
double clicking picture, I'm getting the content. Correct?
Ma'am, we have not received the files. Email has not been sent to us.
Ritika ma'am,
Yes.
can we answer that?
Ma'am, you are in the WhatsApp group because we have
Yes,
sent.
I am there.
Ma'am, I have sent the files in the WhatsApp group itself. You can check it from there. Please download the files from the group.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
हेलो मैम मैम या आई जस्ट टेल मी कि मेरे को कौन से आइकन से जाना है इज इट द ओपन एज अ प्रोजेक्ट या फाइल a new project
Ma'am, go to import. Can you see the screen?
no
Can
I
you see
can't
screen?
yeah I can see your screen but I am not able to find on my screen
Ma'am,
this import
okay, wait a minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll stop sharing mine. You start sharing your screen. Let me see what's the problem.
actually I'm working on the laptop and listening on the mobile so I cannot
Ma'am, you should, I think in a session you should be on your laptop. Okay, anyways, if you see this screen, can you see the screen?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
able
seeing
to
the
see this
screen.
screen? Yes. So on the
No,
top, look at this.
No,
You
I'm
can't see
not
the
able to
screen
see
also.
this screen.
Ma'am, we
No.
are
This
able to
type
see
of
the screen, Jaspreet ma'am.
Ma'am, may I intervene for a second?
Yeah.
Kainat ma'am, actually when you have opened NVivo, there it is giving an option to start a new project. Click on that. You can write trial over there and press next. Then you will be able to see this screen that Jaspreet ma'am has shared. I believe this is the problem. You must be on a screen prior to this. That's all from my side.
Okay, fine. So I think we'll take the session forward, and in case there are any problems, we'll come to it slowly and gradually. Okay. So this paper of mine that I have made and which is about to get published is supposed to be a paper where I was studying domestic waste disposal. So where there were many papers on how waste is disposed. So there's a lot of sustainability, recyclability things going on. So where there were numerous papers on how to dispose of waste and how it comes into the supply chain or how it goes into the landfill or things like these. There were very few papers which spoke about domestic waste disposal. Okay, and in the Indian context there wasn't any paper at all. So I took up this topic. Okay, and what I did for this is, because I was working on the Indians and I wanted to know the inner feelings of the Indians and I wanted to do an in-depth analysis for it. I did not go for a quantitative research. Okay, so I didn't go for an objective research where I asked them, okay, what do you dispose of? Okay, you dispose of X, Y, Z, how many times, numeric. I didn't go for that data. I actually went and did an interview of a segment of the society, Indian society, which we call the baby boomers. Now, baby boomers are people who are above 55 years of age in India. Okay, and with them, I sort of tried to share this interview. So I took an interview for them in which I interviewed somewhere around 35 to 40 people. Okay, now, just let me show you the data that I have collected. So, the first type of data that I collect for a paper is my secondary articles. So, any paper which is very near to my topic, any secondary data paper which is very near to my topic, I am supposed to be collecting that. Okay, so for example, this is one of the papers which is close to my topic. Okay, and somewhere around 3 to 4 such papers I had collected. Okay, which is very close to my topic. So uh, papers which did speak about domestic waste management when it came to Indians. There were only 2 to 3 papers. Okay, so those 2 3 papers, I call them competitor papers because I have to make my paper different from them. So those I did import into NVivo. A second type of data that I imported into NVivo was interviews. So of course I had some 35 to 40 transcripts, Word document. I imported them into NVivo. The third type of data I had was that when I went and visited these people's house, there were some pictures that I took from their house which showed sustainability or which showed, how economically they can, look after the domestic waste. So that is another thing that I imported into the NVivo. For example, here you can see that the daughter has been given a kurta which is supposed to be made from a sari. Okay, so again, disposing of the domestic waste. So this is something that I imported. Then there was a video. I'll just show you the video. This video I got from YouTube, and I'm just playing it. Okay, so this is another video that I got where the video explains I'll show it to you and how to analyze it. So it was a video on an old couple in South India who have left the hustle bustle of the city, and they are wanting to live in a in a very small mud house in the outskirts of the outskirts of the state. They are living a very simple life. Okay, they're very simple people, simple clothes, and what do they think about sustainability? So my whole theme was sustainability, okay, which means that how do you save resources for future, okay, and how does disposing of household waste help in sustainability, and what is the Indian perspective of that? That is what my research was about. So these are the types of data I collected. So first thing is data collection. So I collected these data, and the second step, of course, now is analysis. So let's go to analysis. I will first start with the analysis of the interview transcript. Okay. So if you see how the interview transcript is analyzed, we call this process as open coding, okay, or word-to-word coding. So two names are given over here. Either it's called open coding or it's called word-to-word coding. So what do we do with this is that suppose I ask them a question that what are the ways in which you try and reduce wastage in your home? Suppose I ask them this question. So now they'll give me some answers, some qualitative answers for this. Okay, so one answer for this was that we donate old garments and vessels. Okay, so someone said we donate old garments and vessels. Now all of you, please highlight this line. We have been donating old garments and vessels. Please highlight this line. Right click, code selection. Okay. Create new code. Go to right side, create new code. And on the left side, you will see there's a blank space which can be made, and just write donation here. This is what we call first order codes. Okay, so each and every line has to be analyzed, and you have to do an open coding for the first order codes. Okay, in some of your NVOs, the code word will not be there. Maybe they are using the word node, N-O-D-E. It's absolutely fine. It is one and the same thing. So, of course, before this, let me tell you, when you do a qualitative research, you're supposed to be basing your research on a theory. So yesterday I told you, except for grounded theory, any research that we are doing has to be supposedly done on a theory. So now let me show you the theory for the same. So my theory was this theory, because I need to tell you this, otherwise you'll not understand how I did the paper and how NVivo, helped me in it. So this was my theory. This was the concept that I used. So the 3R theory is very, very famous, where we say reuse, reduce, recycle. Okay, so this is called the 3R theory. I hope my screen is visible. I hope the Google screen with 3 R's is visible.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
This
Yes.
is a concept. This is a theoretical concept of sustainability, and it is also called the hierarchical concept of sustainability, and this is what I took as my base. So my base theory was to understand how the Indians reduce, reuse, recycle their domestic waste so that they can live the sustainability initiative. Now, this was what was my whole research about. Also, apart from finding out that what they reuse, reduce, or recycle, I also wanted to find out why they do so. So I interviewed this baby boomer generation of Indians, and what I wanted to find out from them is that why they do it. What is the motivation for them for reusing, reducing, and recycling waste? Okay, this is my whole research, and this is the theory I based it on. So when I'm doing my open coding, when I'm doing my line-to-line coding, it is very important for me to keep into consideration the model that I have taken. Okay. Now I am talking to them about reduce.
Jaspreet ma'am.
So what is my question? My question is, how do you reduce waste? Okay.
Jaspreet ma'am,
So
sorry
I
to
am working
interrupt.
for 1 hour. And within that hour, I am getting some mini themes.
1 minute,
for
ma'am.
example,
Jaspreet ma'am.
she says that we give our garments to maids. So I just highlight this. We give it to maids, right click, code selection. I'm repeating the process. Create new,
Jaspreet ma'am.
and in this we say again donate. So I've got 2 lines which say donate. She also said that sometimes, let me zoom in a little. She also said that in olden times we used to give it to juniors. So I highlight we give it to juniors, right click, code selection, and I will put it into reuse. I'll make a new code which is reuse. Okay. In another line she said the same garment could be worn by 3 generations. So here again code selection, and we can create new code and say family values. So she said that the garment could be used, but I don't give it to anybody to use, but within our generations, within our children, it can be worn 3 times. There was another method in which she spoke about discarding her garments, where she said that the silk saris and party dresses is something that I only and only keep with myself. I don't give it to maids. So I right click, code selection, new code, and I call this categorization. She's categorizing waste. She's categorizing waste to be given to the maid. She's categorizing waste which can be reused by juniors. She's categorizing waste which cannot be given to anyone. So for silk sari and party dresses, she says, I don't give it to anyone. Okay. Further, she says that when it comes to expensive saris and expensive party dresses, she says I can only give it to my daughter and daughter-in-law. So I highlight this, I go to create new, and here I write emotions. So when she is discarding waste, she's not thinking about the environment in sustainability. She is saying that I want to save it and keep it for my daughter and my daughter-in-law. So those expensive saris that she has, probably from her marriage, she's not ready to discard it in any way. She's not ready to give it to the maids. She's not ready to give it to anybody else, but only to her daughters. So you can imagine that while they are disposing of waste, the Indians, the baby boomers above 55, they have a set of emotions attached to it. So I find emotion also as a motivation for discarding. So these were the major, codes that I came across. You people can also try and do this on your, NVOs. And what I'll do is, as usual, I will now stop at 5 o'clock for questions. So when I stop at 5 o'clock, okay, if there's anybody who has not been able to do this, okay, I'll help you to share your screen and I'll sort it out. Okay, but I suggest please keep your doubts till 5 o'clock, because if I start taking one each doubt in between sessions, we'll not be able to finish the sessions. Okay, and I suppose these are recorded sessions, so you can see it later on also, but please do let me carry the session till 5. There are things I have to do for today, and then 5 o'clock I'll give you time to even share your screen, and I'll, the way I did, we were sharing screen, and I'll sort out your doubts. Now I have done the open coding. For every line I have given a code. So my codes are made, or my first order codes are made. Okay. Now I want to see the code. So what do I do? On the left side, you have something called coding. On the left side in this blue screen, you see something called coding. And below that coding, you see codes. So you go to codes, okay, and the moment you go to codes, you will see these codes. So the major codes, when I analyzed my 35 transcripts, for sustainability among baby boomers, or this domestic waste disposal, or taking care of anything that they don't want to use. Okay, I was only and only talking about things they didn't want to use. So I found out that there were many motivations that came up, many codes that I found out. For example, one code was value for money. Okay. The second code was skill. So many of them said in this generation, the generation of 55 years, many of them said that we had the skill to convert a sari into a suit, or to convert a torn bed sheet into pillow covers or into mats. So the ladies used to stitch themselves, so they had the skill. They didn't have to go and spend money outside. Okay, but when the same research, so I did a cross analysis of generation of baby boomers and Generation Z. Generation Z is the teenagers of today. When the same thing was done with Generation Z, they said we don't have the skill. We just don't know how to stitch. We just don't know how to convert things. So what do? We throw it off. We dump it. We give it to maids. We just don't try and recycle it. So this is called recycling. I told you I was going with the sustainability theory of 3R. So one of that R was recycle. So I found out that in these houses they did recycle, but to recycle they needed a skill. And that skill was present among these baby boomers, so they could recycle and thus they were sustainable. Role of women. Another theme that I found out was role of women. So sustainability was something that the men thought could only and only be done by women. And when I interviewed them, and by the way, when I say interview, it is not less than 40 to 45 minutes that I was with this lady. Midway, she did say that I got tired, so next day again I came to her because she was an old lady. Okay, role of woman. So I found out that in Indian society, men feel that sustainability is something that the woman should be doing. Okay, it is not something that we have to look after. It was her forte, where she wants to give the garments, where she wants to give the books, where she wants to give the old gadgets. It was all the ladies' domain. Men did not interfere in this. There were other codes like moral values, for example. These ladies also said that there were moral values that were given from our mothers, because of which we were sustainable. Now these are all the codes, or should I say first order codes, that I get from my coding, open coding or word to word coding. If any of you thought that I'm just going to throw my transcripts 40 to 45 into NVivo and it will automatically analyze it, you are mistaken. There is a method of doing this automatically also. I will show it to you. Okay, so one method is read line to line, right click, code, and then see codes. There is another method which is automatic. I'll show it to you. So what you have to do is, at any point of time, if you want to go back to your file view, now this is the codes view. These are all the codes. Okay, at any point, go back to your files, the files which had an audio, video, XYZ. You can just press files. Okay, so the moment you press files, on the left side where you had pressed codes and you came to the code window, on the left side itself, just press files and you'll come to the file window. Okay, now I'm back to files. Now there's one more method of doing something what we call an auto code. So what we have done manually, we can do it automatically also. So for the thing, what you'll have to do is select the file. Just click on the file, interview transcript 4. It should be highlighted in blue. After that, go to home. After home, go to auto code. Okay. In auto code, there will be an auto code wizard which will open, and it will say identify themes. Okay. Once it says identify themes, go to next. Now it is preparing themes. Your themes are prepared, or your codes are prepared. These codes have been automatically prepared by the software. The moment you press finish, these are your major codes. Now, the problem in auto coding is, of course, the major codes have been made. So if you click any one, suppose I click sari, it will show me the codes within codes. So within sari, it says sari bags and good saris and all that. Now, if you see all these codes, look at the codes: clothes, sari, glass, party, process, garment, value, etc. So, in an auto code, you know what happens? The software just does the content analysis. If you remember what is content analysis, I told you yesterday, it just counts the number of words. So if the word sari came many number of times, it will make sari as a code. If glass bottles, glass jars, this came too many times, it will make glass as a theme or a code. But the problem is that in our case, we want codes which are related to my theory. And what was my theory? Reuse, recycle, reduce. Now, what do I do of these auto codes? Because none of these auto codes are related to my theory. They have just been made by the software on the basis of counting of some words. This is the disadvantage of doing auto coding. Okay, I hope till here things are clear. I will go to the chat box once. I'll not stop in between, but I can go to the chat box. Do we have a chat box, ma'am? Do we have a live chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Ritika ma'am,
But
do
I
we
think
have a chat box?
yes, ma'am. Chat box is there, but I think the participants
I
are raising
hear.
hands.
Sorry?
The participants are raising hand. We can take the question answer session at 5 o'clock, ma'am.
Yeah, that
Because
will be
they
good.
can that can be. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please
You
make it
carry on,
5
ma'am.
or
Yes.
some very different. Okay,
Yes.
so these are the codes. I hope my screen is visible. Now these are the codes. Okay, and this is an auto-coded thing, but the problem is that these codes might not. These are not logically made. They are made on the basis of counting from the software. Okay, so maybe there might just be codes like, for example, etc. Okay, etc. It has made a code because maybe many a times the lady used the word etc. So it's made etc. as a code, but it doesn't make logical sense. So that is one reason why I say that at least for my PIs, personal interviews, which are probably 35 to 40, I would go for a manual coding or a word-to-word coding or a open coding. Okay. Next thing. Once I have made the code, so now what do I do? On left side, I go to codes and I say, okay, these are my codes. Now what do I do? Now this is something that I call my first order codes because every sentence I have coded. One sentence or two sentences I might have coded together. Okay, maybe if there's a repetition in the fourth sentence again about donation, I might have not coded it. That will do. But most of the sentences I have coded, I have actually done a sentence to sentence coding. If I do this for 35 to 40 transcripts, I'll get somewhere around 200 codes. I'll get somewhere around 200 first order codes. Now what do I do? The next step to analysis is, if you remember, I told you yesterday that we'll be doing the content analysis and a thematic analysis. So the next step is forming themes. So for that, I will export all these codes into a Word file and I will make themes out of it. Right now they are just first order codes. But what I'll do is I'll export them into a Word file and I will tell you how to make themes out of it. So for that what you have to do is go to go to share, go to export. I'm repeating, go to share, go to export and go to export codebook. Go to share, go to export and go to export sharebook. Okay, and press an OK. See what happens. A page like this will open. This is a Word document. I hope all of you can see my Word document. It is named demo. Okay, now what has happened is all the codes that I had made by open coding, they have come in a Word file. See, these are my codes. These are all my codes. Okay, so whether I did them manually, so the manual ones are over here. These are my pages of manual, and here you see auto code. Here you see auto code. So even the auto coded themes, okay, even they have come into the file. But I am working only on the major codes which I had made logically. So now in these codes, what do? I club them into a theme. For example, donate came again. I'm just marking them. See, I'm highlighting them. Donate, donating, okay. Maids, giving to maids. She might have not used the word donating. She might have said, I give it to maids, okay. All these words I will club together and I will call it charity, or I will call it donation. Meanwhile, she could also speak about giving it to NGOs, okay. She can speak about poor people. She can speak about, she could have spoken about old shoes given to guards, okay. All these themes I have clubbed together as, charity or donation. Now, donate, NGOs, guards, maids, these are first order codes, and charity oblique donation is my major theme. Okay. Another thing that I saw very predominantly in my first order codes, of course, you have to have the sense of theoretical background also to do this theming. Okay, you just can't do it. Now there were themes like emotion. I'm coloring it with another highlight. Let me use green. Okay, family emotion, some said. Family, another person said. So these three codes, okay. Let me remove this. Emotions, family. Now this could be up and down. So it's not necessary that they're going to be together. They could be up and down also. There might just be a code of, see here, family values. So there might just be a code down also, but I'm just picking up so that you can conveniently see. Now all these codes which say emotion, family, etc., etc., I term this as emotion. Okay. So when the lady says, I'll give the sari only to my daughter or only to a person in my family, it is emotions. When she says that I don't throw away my old clothes and the 3 generations wear it again and again and again, it is emotions. Okay, so I will name this as emotions. Other themes also which came up very heavily, for example, just look at this theme. So somebody said there was moral value in our generation. They said there were family values in our generation. There was one more lady who said, when I was doing these, there was another lady who said that my mother's teachings. Okay, so this is another thing which the lady said. Now these are all first order codes which can be named as, the major code is Indian values. So you know what these ladies said is that the moral value doesn't allow us to waste things because people in India don't get food. So there was another lady who said that my mother taught me that don't waste anything because your husband has been earning very hard. There were other people who said that our family values said that don't waste food because people don't get food in India. So these type of narrations from different people, which could have been a different first order code. I might have named it as moral values or mother's teachings or societal values or family values. I have made it as a theme called values. Okay, so I got some major themes. Okay, like values was one, emotion was another, charity was another, value for money was another. So people do this recycling, reduce, and this thing because they feel that it's value for money, paisa bachana hai. Okay, so these are the major themes that I came across. Ritika ma'am, at any point of time, if you can't see my screen, do let me know.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are theming part, okay, which has been done. Now, once we have made themes, I told you that exploratory research is finding out new themes. Now, ठीक है, this is my themes, agreed. These are my themes: charity, emotion, Indian values, utilization of money. These are my major themes, agreed. But how do I know that whether they have been studied in past literature or not? Here again, N vivo's operations can help me. How will it help? Just see. Go to files, and go to domestic artifacts. Now, this is actually a paper by Dr. Vyas. This was submitted in one of the conferences where he's actually spoken about the middle class Indians and how they believe in sustainability, and they actually, look after their whatever, values, etc. So he's explained all these. He's also explained the um, um, the utilization of all this. Now, the next thing is that I want to see whether the themes that I have taken out, are they old or not. So like this paper, I have another 4-5 competitor papers. See, if you have more than 4 competitor papers, which means your topic has been studied already, please drop the topic. I repeat, if you have more than 3 to 4 competitor papers which are exactly speaking about the same theme as yours, which is the case over here, you should drop the topic. More than 3 competitors you should not be having. If you have it, it's not a novel research, it will never get published. Now, once this is done, I will do a function. So here in next to import, you have create, and next to create, you have explore. So go to explore and go to text search. Go to explore and go to text search. You'll get a window like this. I hope all of you can see my window. Now here what I'll do is I will first select items. So here is a select items, click it. You can see select items, just click it. And in this, I will select my papers. Okay, so I have selected domestic artifacts because this is my PDF file and this is my competitor paper. I have given you only one competitor paper. You can select 2 to 3 to 4 competitors, how many ever you have, select all the papers. So this is like we say, even when in our paper we write that past literature says, or past literature does not say. Don't we write things like these? So this is an analysis of the past literature. The research papers which are exactly of your theme. So in domestic artifacts, I select and I say okay. I say okay. So now it is going to search where? In these 3 to 4 competitive papers. Now one by one, I put my themes. So my first theme was donation. Okay, my first theme was donation. Let me check. Is it present in past literature or not? Okay, so I go to run query, but before I go to run query, on the right side, you have this something called exact match, stemmed words or synonyms. Okay, I would go to stemmed words. What are stemmed words? For a software, it takes talk, talking, talkative as 3 different words. So when I say stemmed words, it means that talk, talking, talkative, it will take as 1 word. So when I'm searching for donation, donate, donating, it will take as 1 word. Otherwise, the software will take all these 3 as different words. Further, we can go to synonyms also, where donate, charity, contribution, these words will be clubbed together. But I don't want to go for synonyms, I want to go for stemmed words. And after going to stem words, I go to run query and see what happens. It says the query returned no results. Okay. The question is this good for me or is this bad for me? This is good for me. This is good for me. It is good for me because this donation theme that I came up with after line-to-line coding, okay, is a new theme, and the software has checked it in the past research, 4 to 5 papers, and it did not find this theme over there. Okay, so this is something very good for my research. If I do a text search like this for all my themes, I will be able to say which is the new variable. What is exploration? Finding out the new variable, something that nobody has found out from Indians till now. So donation, I have reported as a new variable because in my past papers it was not there. Now let me try my second theme, family. I'll just do it with the 3 themes that we found out. Run query. Family has been listed 57 times. Reference 57 means 57 times it has been listed in past literature. Now, although family did come up as a theme, it is not a unique theme. I cannot write in my final chapter, conclusion chapter, that this is a new theme I came up with. No, I can't write this. I can't write this. I will have to say that this is a theme which was already there in past literature. Okay, and it just got reiterated when I did a research on Indians. Let me see my third theme. If you remember, values. Okay, so run query. Let me see, is it there in past literature? 7 references. Few references are there, not too many, which means it is almost a new theme. It's not an absolutely new theme, but the literature for this particular variable when it comes to Indian domestic waste management is very, very scarce, is very, very less. Okay, so this is how you write your codes and themes, and you decide whether which theme is new and which theme is old. Number 1. There are other functions also in NVivo. For example, when you go to explore, okay, there's something called a word frequency. Please go to word frequency. Go to explore and go to word frequency. On the top toolbar, you have explore, which we just did for text search also. And we go to word frequency. I hope all of you are there. I'm just stopping for 1 minute so that you guys reach here. Now, once you come to word frequency, okay, what you have to do is again select an item. And I will do word frequency on my personal interview transcript. So when it comes to selecting files, I select interview transcript 4, which is my word file that I've sent you. I select this and I press OK. Okay, and I do a run query. Just go to run query. It is finding out the most prominent words from my interview transcript. Here I've done it for 1 interview transcript. You will be doing it for all 30 to 40 transcripts taken together. So when you go to the choice of selecting items, it gives you a choice of selecting more than 1 items also. So I can select all my interview transcripts and press OK and run a query and do a word count. This is a part of what I told you yesterday, which is content analysis. Okay, where we count the number of words and do an analysis and we try to interpret something. So this is a summary. Okay, so old is the word. Length means the number of characters which are there in the word. So OLD, so alphabets in the word. Count is the number of times it has come in the script. Clothes, garment, donate, etc., etc. Now I want to make a word cloud. So on the right side at the vertical axis, you will see word cloud. Just below summary, you will see word cloud, and the moment you press word cloud, the software will make a word cloud for you. Now this is the word cloud. Okay. Now, what do I have to check in the word cloud, or what is to be? Why am I making a word cloud, or how can it help me in the paper? How it can help me in the paper is it can help me reiterate my codes and themes. So on the left side, just press codes. On the left sides, again just press codes. Now you on the right side you have a word cloud, okay, which is analysis of all your transcripts. And on the left side, you have all the major codes that you had made in the line-to-line coding. Now you're supposed to be matching these. Now let me show you how to match. If you see donate has come up as a very big word, very prominent word, even in the word cloud. And donate came up as a theme also in my first order and final theming, which means donate has been coded correctly by me. It's a good theme. That is exactly what the respondents, okay, these are transcripts. So respondents also said the same thing. So my coding is correct. Another word that you see over here is reuse. Okay, so I have coded reuse also in my codes. So again, there's a second match, which means yes, whatever the respondent said, that is exactly what I have logically coded. There are words like value. Okay, so again, value also came up as a major theme. So this word cloud is a method of rechecking, your themes. Now there might just be one more question sprouting in your minds that, ma'am, you have named it as donation. Somebody else will name it as charity. A third person will name it as humanitarian activity. So how do you decide this word? So the answer to that is, in qualitative research, everything is subjective. Only God knows what's the correct word for donation. Is it donation? Is it contribution? Is it humanitarian well-being? Only God knows what is the right thing. And that is the reason that, publishing a qualitative paper is very, very difficult, because what you feel is donation could be charity for the reviewer. So what we do in this case is, how do we get rid of this limitation? If there are three authors to a paper, three people at different levels, at their own levels, do the coding. So this coding that I'm showing you, where, I'm writing donate, or I'm writing value, or I'm writing whatever, it's not something that only I have coded. I had two other authors in this paper. Even they coded it. And after they have also done the coding of these 35 files, we all sit together. Once we all sit together, we decide, okay, I said donation has come too many times. The other person might say, yes, charity has come many times. Okay, he must be calling it charity. Now we three people sit and we decide. We go through past literature and see that what is this one parameter called? Is it donation or is it charity? What is it called? Okay, and then we finally decide that we are going to name the theme as donation. So this is how we remove subjectivity. Number one, in qualitative research, unlike quantitative research, we do not need the reliability like Cronbach alpha, etc. But in a qualitative research, validity is very, very important. Content validity is very, very important. So what we do is, despite the fact that we three people do coding at our homes, and then we come and then we discuss and finally decide a theme, even after I have formed my theme, so if these are my themes, we all have discussed and formed these themes, I will be showing these themes to a subject expert. So I will be showing these themes. I will be sending these themes to professors of sustainability or sustainable consumption or ethical business. I'll be sending these themes to them. They might tell me that no, Jaspreet, charity is not a good word, donation is a better word. So even their inputs are inculcated in deciding these themes before I show them in a paper. Okay, so this is the whole process of first order coding and theming. Now let me show this to you in an actual A category paper. If you've understood the process, let me show you this process in an A category paper. And I showed you this paper yesterday also, but this paper has used NVivo, so I show it in once you do NVivo, I show it again to you. So this is an A category paper, ABDC A category paper that I showed you yesterday. I hope all of you can see the PDF paper on my screen, and I'm coming this to 100%. Okay, this is the paper I had shown you yesterday, where I told you that these authors were working on how artificial intelligence can be implemented on organizations. Okay, and they were trying to show what are the problems people are having when artificial intelligence is implemented on their companies. Correct? First thing they did is they made a word cloud. So this is the first thing they made. They took the data, and I think they have taken a data of 35 personal interviews, 35 transcripts they have collected. And the first thing they have done is they have made a word cloud in NVivo. Okay, they have made a word cloud in NVivo. This is their word cloud. And look at their word cloud. They have used this word cloud to defend their rationale, to defend that there was a need for doing research on the implementation of artificial intelligence in companies, or among problems of employees when artificial intelligence is implemented on the company. So the first thing that they used in NVivo is a word cloud. So they did a word cloud, and the word cloud showed that stress, overload, insecurity in jobs, stress, adoption, these changes, stress because of change, these are the major words that they got in the word cloud. So when they ask the people, what do you think about artificial intelligence being implemented in your company? The employees said, we are insecure, we are overloaded, we are stressed, we can't take change, we can't adopt to changes, XYZ. Okay, this is one way in which they have shown the word cloud. Another thing which they have done is they have made themes. Okay, so just look at these themes. This is their table for themes. First theme is information insecurity and data privacy. Okay, frequency 23 times. So in their 35 transcripts that they have, 23 times there was a mention of this theme called information security and data privacy. Okay, the other thing that people were very worried was job risk. So out of the 35 scripts, 20 times, look at the frequency, 20. So this has been done by NVivo. This has actually been done by NVivo. So it is nothing but the word cloud. It is nothing but the word cloud. So see, when I was making the word cloud over here, on top you have summary. Okay, so old word came 7 times, clothes came 6 times. This is exactly what has been represented in this table. Job risk came 20 times. Increased stress came 18 times. Managing changes came 16 times. So the major themes have been made over here on the basis of the word cloud, word count, and the themes have been listed. Now, once you list the major themes, the way I told you, we export the codebook and make themes, okay? And we do a word cloud to see that whether our themes are correct or not. Those themes should also reflect in the word cloud. Then we say, okay, our themes are correct. Now, after that, what do you do in a paper? So after that, we start writing about themes. So suppose Now read this paragraph in the paper. Just read one paragraph. It has been done for one theme. The same thing has to be done for all themes. So take a minute to read this. Just take a minute to read this. So you see, they write a paragraph about job risk and insecurity, and all that these 40, 45, 35 people, sorry, they have a sample size of 35. They write about the job risk context that these 35 people have spoken about. They list it as a major theme. They've already given a proof of that in word cloud, that these many times this theme had come. Okay, so they don't need to defend that it is a major theme. Now they are describing about the theme. So they are saying that the 35 employees that we interviewed, they said employee job fit, okay, automation tasks. These are the major problems because of which the person feels that my job is risky and insecure. Further, after explaining this, that what those 35 people have said about this theme, they have given quotes from two respondents, respondent number 29, respondent number 4. They actually say that work overload, invasion of privacy, etc. is leading to job insecurity. People feel unsafe when it comes to their job. Okay, so after every theme, you are supposed to be giving two quotes or two, references from your interviews. Of course, these references, if the theme was job risk and the job risk was said 20 times in 35 interviews, these two respondents are definitely coming from those 20 times. Okay. Now, how will you find these quotes in NVivo? So I'll show you. You go to codes, okay, and I went to codes, and there's this code called value for money. Now I'm making a paper. I have given the heading of the topic, which is value for money. Below that, I have started writing that people were very finicky. Indians were very finicky about value for money. They felt that saving value was the best way of value for money. They also felt that reusing this garment again and again was something that could bring in value for money. So this is that paragraph that I wrote. Now I need references or I need quotes. Where do I get it? In NVivo, just double click value for money. And on the right side, you will see those quotes. So this value of money that you had picked up from the transcripts, okay? And you remember you highlighted a sentence and then right clicked and then put it into a code, okay? So the software saves it, and the moment you double click the code, any code, so I'll just do that for donation, I'll tell you, okay? So this is for donation. I'm double clicking donation. See the two codes. We have been donating old garments and vessels, 2 maids. Pick this up, say respondent number 1, put it in quotes and finish it off. You need just 2 such quotes for every theme that you're listing in an A category paper. Okay, I hope the whole context of first order themes, quotes, etc. is clear. Okay. The last bit that I want to do with you before we go for questions is that I want to tell you what is sentiment analysis, because in this paper also they have used 2 things. One is word cloud, one is coding and theming that I just told you, another is giving quotes from respondent number 29, 3, etc., which is references that I took you in NVivo. They've done one more thing over there in NVivo, which we call as sentiment analysis. So this chart that you see on the right side, which says very negative, moderately positive, very positive, this is what we call a sentiment analysis. So or whatever transcripts we have, we can actually tell what is the sentiment of a people when he was thinking about it. So how do I do that? I select my interview transcript. I go to interview transcript, click it, it's blue in color, it is selected. Now I go to AutoCode. In AutoCode, instead of identify themes, I bring it down to identify sentiments. Instead of identify themes, I click on the next option, which is identify sentiments. And then I go to next. Okay. Now here it says, how finely should NVivo code text passages? Should I see sentences or should I see paragraphs? Tell him to see sentences to see what is the sentiment and go to finish. Now once you do this, it will come to this sort of a screen. Okay. There are two screens that it will show you when you do a sentiment analysis. One is compared by number of sentiments. The second is AutoCode sentiment results. I'm just clicking again, look at the windows. Compared by number of sentiments. At any point of time, if you don't see the second screen, on the right side, you have these left-right buttons. So left, right buttons are there. Arrows towards left and arrows towards right. The moment you go to the left, you will see the second screen, which is AutoCode sentiment results. Okay. These results will be visible in a tabular form, the way they are visible right now. So if you go down in the arrow, you can move this towards right. So moderately negative, moderately positive, very positive, X, Y, Z. So one way is that you can see this in the form of a table. So see, this is in the form of a table. The next thing is that you can see it in the form of a chart. Okay, so just where there is coding matrix on the vertical side below, there is something called chart. So just click chart. Just click chart. Okay, just click chart. When you click chart, you will see this chart which emerges, and this is exactly the chart which this person has shown over here. The authors have shown over here. Okay, I hope you can see the chart in NVivo. This is exactly the chart of sentiment analysis which the author has put up over here. Okay, so here in the sentiment analysis, we can see that when my respondents were talking about sustainability, they had a sentiment towards it. And what was the sentiment? The sentiment was very negative or moderately negative. Most of the people were very negative or moderately negative. Okay, there were very few who were positive and moderately positive. Now, if I want to see which are the words which have been categorized as moderately negative, I just have to go to the chart, which is the bar, and double click. Once I double click, all the references, okay, where from where you have got this negative sentiment, all those sentences which have been picked up by the software as negative sentences will start reflecting. Now, you must be thinking that if suppose there is a sentence which says, we sort garments into good and bad, the good ones are reused and the bad ones are donated. Now you must be thinking that what is negative in this sentence? So for a software, negative does not mean a logical negative or a feeling of negativism. It just means a negative word. It just counts words. So look, bad is a negative word. Okay, then reuse is a negative word. Bad is the third word. Okay, discard is a fourth word. So because of these four words, the software says this sentence is negative. Now this is a limitation of a software which we also write down in the final chapter when we write conclusions. In that, when we write limitations, we always write down that the software that we used, or any software that we use, qualitative software that we use, it cannot make logical sense of sentences and words. Thus, it picks up negative and positive words on the basis of what is given in the English vocab. So if you say there's something called old, old is bad, new is good, okay? Black is bad, white is good. All right. So this limitation is always there in the software, and we always write that NVivo is not capable of differentiating this. So suppose there's a sentence which says, I don't think I don't like you. Suppose there's a sentence which says, I don't think I don't like you. Now, ideally, what is the logical meaning of the sentence? I like you. That is what logical. But the software cannot understand the logical meaning. The software will say it is a negative sentence. Why? Because the don't word, which is supposed to be negative for the software, came thrice in a sentence. Okay, so this is something in sentiment analysis that we write as a limitation of our research. Okay, otherwise, of course, the analysis that is there, of course, these charts you can very well show in your research. Even in this paper, they have shown a chart, and they have tried to say that when we were speaking to people about artificial intelligence and its application in a company, most of the employees had a negative sentiment about it. That is what they are trying to portray in this chart. They are trying to show in this chart, which means they are trying to show that there's actually a problem with the artificial intelligence being implemented. Okay, so this is about today's session, and now we can go to doubts. Okay, okay, ma'am, can you see the raised hands? Okay, yeah, Kainat.
Yes, ma'am. Few of
Yes.
them have raised their hands.
Yes, I can see. Yes, Kainat, one by one, quickly. Kainat Nasir. Kainat Nasir, you raised your hand. Please unmute and speak up. Okay. Dr. Anuradha Dave.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, my query is solved now. In between, my query was solved. You explained it so beautifully. My query is solved now.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Kainat, are you?
Yes.
Yes,
My query is also solved. It was at the initial stage.
Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I believe my screen had got stuck when you were explaining how to make the code. Could you please show that to me again? Because I wasn't able to hear and I wasn't able to see.
Okay.
Yes, the initial.
So can you see the screen right now?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, so I'm going to files. Okay. And I'm going to interview transcript. Okay. Now this is the line that I have highlighted.
Right.
Okay. Right click.
Okay.
Code selection.
Okay.
Create new code.
Okay.
Okay. And when you see this blue color thing, you can press a backspace and you can say donating. You can say donating. Okay. And go to code selection to new code.
Okay, ma'am.
How do you check whether the code is made or not? On the left side in these blue toolbars, just double click codes.
Okay.
Double click codes. Okay. And you will see donating as a code over here, which means your code is made. There's another method of doing it also. Once you have made the code, what you can do is, suppose the thing comes back again. So suppose we never donated party wear and you want to put it into donating also. The code is made already and you can see it on the left side. So what you can do is you can highlight this and drag this sentence. Can you see it is getting dragged? And
Yes.
leave it at donating. Automatically the sentence has got into donating code. How do you check? Double click donating and see we never donated the party wear. It has already come into donating.
Correct.
So
Okay.
once the code is made, you can drag sentences into it also. And if at any point of time you want to check whether my sentence was dragged or I hope it hasn't been left out, you just double click any of the codes if you want to check. It will always show you references. These references will also come to use when you write them in the paper.
Okay.
Yes. So
Thank you,
we
ma'am.
come to the, yeah, thank you. So Kainath is solved. Harsh, Kainath, again your hand is up. Can you?
No. My hand is
Acha.
my hand is not
ठीक
up.
है,
I
ठीक है.
don't know how.
Okay. I don't know why I can still see your hand. Okay, just lower your hand. See if there's an option of lowering your hand. Huh? Okay,
Okay, I
Amit
don't.
Kumar. Yeah, you have to lower your hand. Amit Kumar. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes, yes. So Amit Kumar, sir, your doubt? Amit Kumar, sir, please unmute. Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
Okay. Amit Kumar, sir, I don't know why he's not unmuting. Okay, Asha, ma'am. Your doubt?
I have couple of doubts here.
Yes.
When you said open coding, we can make, say for example, we can make 200 of them, right?
Yeah. First order codes.
Hello?
First order codes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, Asha,
Hello?
ma'am. I can hear you. I can hear
Sorry.
you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
200 we have made, say suppose, and then
Yes.
out of
Yes.
which then we go to the Word document in
Yes.
NVivo, and then we have
Yes.
there are documents open coding. We have so many of them lined up.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
if there are those 200 of them, if they are scattered, how do we choose? Like for example, first one is the can be grouped together, one first and the third one and the sixth one and the eighth one and so on and so forth. How do we group the scattered items into one?
Ma'am, that is manually done. That is manually done.
Okay, then in that case you will have to color the scattered items together so that you can put it together, right?
Yes. And this is something which can be done by a junior
That's
also.
one. Second one, when you, pardon me?
I said that is something which can be done by your junior colleague also. Once the highlighting is done, can you hear me, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Yes. Please continue, ma'am.
Once the highlighting is done, the highlighting is the logical, conceptual part of a researcher. Once that is done, after that, listing it together and making a tabular form. So I'll show it to you for one of my papers. Give me 1 minute. I'll show it how we did and how we represented it in one of our papers. Let's bring the desktop only. So this is one of our papers, which is hopefully it should get published soon. By the way, I'm on LinkedIn by the name of Jaspreet Kaur Pearl Academy. So in case my papers come, whenever they come, I put it up on LinkedIn. So these are all revisions that we have given. So there is this chart that we have given to our reviewer. Just give me 1 minute, I'm coming to it. Yeah, so this is, ma'am, the chart that we have, sorry. This is the chart that we have given to our reviewer. So just see that how we have made from first order codes to themes.
Okay.
First order code to sub themes, and then from sub theme we have made some 3 major themes.
Okay. And finally, when you condense from 200 to 100, 100 to whatever, and finally don't you think so we can arrive at a grounded theory?
No, ma'am, because I still have taken. So see, if you see, I have some 58 first order codes.
Okay.
Okay. And if you see that when I came to my themes, which is formal education, media, societal information, which was value, skills, satisfaction, I still have retained the reuse, reduction, and recycle. Ma'am, you can add to a theory, but the basis theory you have to keep.
Sorry, basis?
Ma'am, the basic theory, which in this case is the 3R theory, I will have to keep.
Okay.
And then I can say that to this basic theory, which is reuse, reduce, recycle, I am adding more factors like skills, satisfaction, savings, societal causes, which have never been added to this theory by any other author.
Okay. Okay.
Right? But I will have to retain my 3Rs. I have retained them in these codes to theme process.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. From this, whatever 200 to 100 and all that, can we get a hierarchy of that?
This is a hierarchy, ma'am. This is a hierarchy itself. But I mean, it's not that they will come. So this is a hierarchy. So there's first order, then there's second order, and then there are themes. So this is a hierarchy. If you see them horizontally, there were 58 first item. Then there were some 3, 4, 5, some 10 sub themes. From 10 sub themes, I came to 3 major themes, which is awareness, action, and motivation. So it is hierarchical. Horizontally, it is hierarchical.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, and the second doubt is that you showed us a sustainability paper of
yes.
Yeah, and you
yeah,
tried
Dr. Vyas's paper.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Vyas paper.
Just,
And when you showed that, you tried to match the word of the NVO, whatever that we are doing, the charity donation, that paper, that transcript,
themes.
with that of the with that of the paper. When you're doing that, don't you think so? The papers as it is can be searched in the PDF file. We have a search toolbar where we can search the words instead of bringing the paper to NVO and trying to do.
Ma'am, I will, if I have 4 papers, I'll have to do this individually.
Okay, it is done collectively in here.
It is done collectively. So when of course, I will have to search one by one, as in theme by theme. So if I have, suppose, 4 major themes, I will have to search one theme, second theme, third theme. But at least it is searching those themes from 4 papers collectively. If I have to do the same task on every paper, that too with the word Control F, it will become 4 times the time it will take.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that is why.
Okay. In the third one is in the sentiment analysis, when you're doing the chart that comes up is a word frequency chart, right?
No, it's not a word frequency, ma'am. So in sentiment analysis, yeah, I'll just show you. So sentiment analysis. This is AutoCode sentiment analysis. This is the chart, ma'am. It shows very negative, moderately positive, very positive.
Okay.
These
are the words or the category.
Just a second. बंद मत करना, मैं अभी 20 minutes और हूँ. बंद मत कर जाना मेरे. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, tell me. What was your doubt now?
Yeah, these are the categories. Then how do we label these charts?
These are automated labeled
on x-axis.
Automated labeled. So see over here,
Okay.
it is the same category in the paper also. Very negative, moderately positive, very positive. These are inbuilt in NVivo. They can't be changed.
Okay, but this particular chart has a limitation. That's what you mentioned while you are explaining. Then then how do we take it forward in the analysis?
That's okay, ma'am. See, in every paper there is a limitation. Even if I don't use this chart, don't I write a limitation section in my research paper? I always say now that I took only Indian consumers and I could have taken all Asian consumers. So some limitation of every software is there. It is better to list a logical limitation rather than saying that I was, lazy not to do so. So it is better to list the software's limitation than saying that I as a researcher was lazy and couldn't do it.
Yeah, right. But then how is it going to be helpful for you while analyzing?
Ma'am, it is helpful. It is helpful. So, the minor things are there, but overall sentiment is negative. And even when you, when you collect those 35 transcripts, you'll come to know that people are thinking, when those ladies were talking, they said that we had to meet two ends. They said we took only one sari because we didn't have money. They said that we had responsibilities of our daughters. So we had to do a lot of saving because we were a big family. So their sentiment while talking was also negative. These are transcripts that you have collected yourself. Who better can you be a judge whether it's negative or not? Okay. So things are supplementing each other, ma'am.
Okay, parallelly we have to keep a tab on the transcripts also.
Ma'am, this is all done after collection of transcripts.
No. While analyzing,
yes,
if we are
yes,
writing,
ma'am. Yes.
Parallelly, we have to keep a tab.
That's why I say that sometimes, I get these people who tell me that do the analysis. I tell them, no, I will not do an analysis of something where I've not collected the data. I cannot because, it's not only data, ma'am. You have to go back and study the concepts. It's not that you give me any data and I'll be able to analyze it on NVivo. No, I have to go back and study the concept. I have to relate the codes with the concepts. It's coming all very logically from top to bottom. If you just give me data and say, go analyze. I'm not giving you the concept. I'm not giving you the theory. I'm not giving you the data collection. Then I can't do this. This whole thing I've made myself. That's the reason I'm explaining it so smoothly to you people. Everything I've done myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for today, that's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Asha ma'am is done. Kiran Gandhi raised the hand. And then there's Ankita and then there's Dr. Anita. Yes, Kiran.
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much, ma'am, for such a beautiful session. It's very informative.
Kiran, just be a little loud. I can't hear you, Kiran.
Yeah, ma'am. I'm saying thank you for the informative session, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Could you please share that research paper that you have referred for the?
Yeah, I'll be sending it to you also. This is the research paper. I'll be sending it to you also. My paper I can't show fully because it is under publication. Once it's published, I'll be putting it up on my LinkedIn. I do put up all my papers on LinkedIn and ResearchGate. So meanwhile, I'll just give you two things. But we don't have a chat. Do we have a chat? We don't have a chat.
Okay, Jaspreet ma'am, you can mail me. I will mail to all the participants.
So I'll mail you my YouTube channels in which I do this NVivo analysis is there as a 5-day workshop, more than what I'm going to do by tomorrow. I'm going to, on LinkedIn, I'm available as Dr. Jaspreet Kaur Pearl Academy. If you search, you'll get me on LinkedIn. You all can join because my future workshops are there. My papers which get published are there. So when this paper gets published, hopefully, God willing, I will put it up on my LinkedIn. Okay, so I'll and my email ID is JaspreetKB, JASPREETK for Kashmir, B for Bombay @rediffmail.com. If there's any query even after the workshop, you can send it there. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. And those
Okay, Kiran.
folders okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Ankita ma'am. And then we have Dr. Anita.
Yeah, hi ma'am. This is Ankita. Yeah, thank you so much. It was really a wonderful session. Yesterday also I enjoyed, and today also. Ma'am, I have few doubts. Doubts in the sense that number one, that sentiment analysis, ma'am. So suppose like for sentiment analysis, suppose we have seen some video on YouTube like India lost over Pakistan, you know, and there are some like some comments on that. If we collect those comments and we keep in a Word file, can we?
Very good. Very good. Very good. Good question. Yes, ma'am. So I showed you this data. If you see, this is social media data. Can you see on my NVivo screen?
Yeah, ma'am. This is Twitter data. Yes.
Yes. So you just have to click this. Click this data. Go to where am I? Home. Go to AutoCode. Go to identify sentiments, and even in this data, which is Twitter data, it will identify the sentiment of all these 8,540 posts. It will do it.
Yeah. So, ma'am, like for Twitter, we get Encapture directly, right?
Yes,
collect that
Encapture I'll be
data.
doing tomorrow, ma'am.
Yeah,
Encapture we'll be
but for ma'am, YouTube and all, we have to collect it manually, right?
Yes, ma'am, because Encapture works the best for Twitter. And for Facebook, etc., it is always good if you can just and all you have to do is just select all and copy.
Yeah, and put it in a Word file, right?
Yes, put it in a Word file. Yes, okay, perfect. Then, so this is it's already finished the sentiment analysis for those 7,000 posts. Yeah. So this is what it is.
Ma'am, in the same line, may I ask one or two more questions? So, ma'am, I got interested. I'll really tell you, I got interested in qualitative research because of one of your session of one day only I had attended. I don't remember the institute name from where I had done. So there also it was NVivo, but it was the very small time. So, you know, we could not do much of the things. So, ma'am, suppose we are doing the sentiment analysis. Now, once we get these graphs, we need to apply our mind to analyze these data and interpret these data in our own sense, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so that is one. That was one thing which I wanted to ask. The another thing, ma'am, that this auto coding thing which you were just explaining us. So for that auto coding, ma'am, like if we have to do it like manually because as system is not going to apply any logic behind it. So, ma'am, should we go for auto coding? Like, in what sense it may be beneficial for us?
Ma'am, auto coding is done when you have a very huge data. So if I have to do a coding for these 7,000 or 12,000
tweets,
for these 12,000 posts or something, that is when we do an auto coding. When the data is too huge. For 35 transcripts that are there for for that I don't need auto coding.
Okay, so ma'am, suppose we are doing the auto coding on those 8,000 tweets. So manually checking those things, like understanding those sentiments, will not be possible. So again, we will have to write the limitation that because of the huge nature of data, we could not do that.
Yes. We can write a limitation. And it is understood. Social media data is so vast that nobody expects you to do a line-to-line coding.
Okay, ma'am, one more thing I think I'm just missing. At one place where you were showing that this drag and drop option for one sentence that I don't give it to my maid or something, and then we can, take that sentence and we can drag. So technically, I understand that we can select any of the sentence and we can just drag it and drop it. But ideally, if we go with the interpretation, this I don't give it to my maid will not come under donation, right, ma'am?
Ma'am, it's up to you. See, when 3 people code it now, only then can they say which is the right code.
Yeah, but like if suppose I'm giving it to my maid because I'm not using it or for any other reason, so I may say this, it is donation. But if I'm not giving
it off, no? I'm not throwing it off. Here, what the purpose is, I want to stop Indians from throwing it off.
Yes, but
so
ma'am,
if I'm not throwing it off, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, but if I'm not giving it, like specifically categorically in that sentence, it was written, I don't give my expensive clothes to my mate. So
Yeah,
for
so
that sentence, how to interpret
that sentence, ma'am, she is very, very specific that my good sarees, etc., I will not give.
Okay, so categorization, as you told.
Categorization. Yeah.
So in donation, we will not bring it.
Dirty clothes she'll give. So that is categorization.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And I really hope that I'll be able to learn so many things. And I'll trouble you later on
Try
also.
writing a paper. All of you will learn when you write a paper. I've been taking workshops since last year. But my only best journey was when I wrote this paper. There were so many things that I didn't know. When you write papers, only then do you know.
True.
Okay, so we have Dr. Anita, who's the last person who raised her hand. Yes, Dr. Anita.
Yeah, good evening. It's going fine. I just have a very simple question. My question is that the transcripts where you extract the information,
yeah,
so otherwise can call as a questionnaire. All these
have
questions, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So it's here. Just a second. NVivo. So this is my interview transcript. It does have questions, ma'am. What are the ways in which you try and reduce waste? This is the question.
No. What I'm saying is the same questions. The respondent should be subjected to the same number of questions.
Ideally, yes, ma'am, but because it is a flexible technique, so if suppose one respondent is not answering me for whatever reasons, I can twist and change the wordings of the sentence so that he can comfortably give me data.
Okay.
Ideally, I go with this set of questions only. But if I'm getting a yes/no answer from him or her, then I try to change questions. For example, ma'am, what are the ways in which you try and reduce wastage in your home? Now, these people just said that we don't throw away garments. They gave me one line. Then I asked them, but what do you do with your garments? पुराने कपड़ों का क्या करते हो? नए का क्या करते हो? अच्छा, कोई बर्तन खराब होता है तो क्या करते हो? Electricity off करते हो नहीं करते? Now, all this was my flexible, more than the question data, which I had to give because, so you can twist it, ma'am. See, some respondents will be okay with this much. But if they are not giving you data, you will have to change questions then and there. But the basic theme should be same.
Like in a quantitative survey and all that, and a standard questionnaire, questionnaires.
No. Here we don't have standard, ma'am. We don't have standard. It's not at all standard. It's not at all. It's very flexible.
Okay, and what about testing of these questions that are being asked? I mean, how do I know that all the questions that I'm asking is, reading to the
experts? Experts. Validity of the tool. Validity of the tool. Yeah. I show these questions to experts. Sometimes they rephrase it also.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So there is a science.
Yes, there is a way. Yes. And we write this in the research paper also, that we showed the tool to even in a questionnaire, structured questionnaire also, I have to show it to an expert. Same with this. With this.
Okay. Done. These were some little doubts that I had.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think everybody is done. Is anybody left? Can everybody please lower the hand if you are done?
Ma'am, I have one last question. Asha here.
Yes, Asha. Ma'am.
Ma'am, when we are doing open coding, like for example, if we have interviewed so many, like 20, 30 of them, so then you do line coding for each of the lines, then it may cross 500 or so. Then how do we go about with that? Because
each line gets repeated. For example, this lady says, I donate to maids. The other lady, second transcript, will say, I donate to guards. End of the day, it's donation only.
Okay. It gets clubbed, you say?
Yes, it gets some amount of clubbing you have to do even in first order. Otherwise, you'll land up in 500 codes.
Yes.
Some amount of clubbing and repetitions will be there, ma'am. In every transcript, there will be, by the time in 35 you reach 20, you will see massive repetition.
Okay. And why I asked this question, because when I attended another qualitative research workshop, the NVivo team said that if you do 30% of coding, 70% will be done by the software. Then how does this work? We knowing?
No. What they mean to say is, ma'am, see, this manual coding you have to be doing, okay? But after that, see, when it came to text search, when it came to word cloud, when it came to sentiment analysis, when it came to auto code, all that the software did.
Okay.
So what they mean to say is line to line coding is only 30% of qualitative analysis. There are many analysis which NVivo is going to give you. Tomorrow we are going to do picture analysis, video analysis, social media analysis through NCapture. So line to line coding is just 30% of the analysis. That is what they meant to say.
Okay. Do you think that this line by line coding, because I have done for one transcript already, can we not do it manually without the use of NVivo?
It can be done. It can be
done. Then how does this NVivo actually helps in coding?
Ma'am, manually you can't make word cloud in 5 minutes. How will you make a word cloud of 45 transcripts, which is 2,000 word each, 80,000 words? How will you make a word cloud?
Not the word cloud, only open coding. Open coding can be done manually.
They can be done, ma'am, but what happens is that even when you're doing it manually, it will take you more time. See, there is an option where I make donation and I'm pulling sentences into donation.
Okay.
That is a faster method than reading and then writing, okay, donation. Initially, we used to make these tally marks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next donation.
No, what I have used was a review. Okay.
As in?
What I have used was Excel. In the Excel, I used, and even in the Word document, there is a reviewer. That particular toolbar I used and did it.
Yes. It can be done manually, ma'am. It can be done manually. You don't need a software for qualitative analysis. That I agree.
Okay. For initial phase.
Yeah. For initial phase, it can be done manually.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Right? Fine. So we end the session over here. Okay. And I see you all tomorrow again exactly at 3:30. So tomorrow will be the last session, right? So Ritika ma'am, can I end?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Jaspreet ma'am.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. I see you tomorrow at 3:30 again. Goodbye.
Thank you, Jaspreet ma'am. Thank you all the participants for joining us. We'll be meeting tomorrow and the recorded session will be shared on your mails. So today itself by late evening. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.